Definition and purpose. International blocs are formal alliances between countries, established to advance shared interests and enhance geopolitical influence. These coalitions typically involve economic, political, or security dimensions, and their purpose often extends to fostering trade, enhancing diplomatic ties, and providing a collective voice in global forums. The primary aim is to leverage collective bargaining power to achieve objectives that might be challenging for individual nations due to limited resources or influence. Within these blocs, member countries collaborate to address issues like trade barriers, geopolitical conflicts, and environmental challenges, ultimately seeking to promote stability and prosperity among the aligned states. Historical evolution. The concept of international blocs has evolved significantly over time. Initially, alliances were largely militaristic, formed to provide mutual defense and deter aggression. However, with the progression of global interdependence, especially post-World War II, economic and political blocs became prevalent. The European Coal and Steel Community, established in 1951, marked the inception of such economic cooperation, leading to the European Union. Subsequently, the Cold War era witnessed the emergence of blocs characterized by ideological alignments, with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the Warsaw Pact exemplifying opposing East-West alliances. In recent decades, the focus has shifted towards regional economic integration and cooperation on global issues like climate change and terrorism. Key international blocs today. In contemporary geopolitics, several key international blocs play a crucial role. The European Union, EU, stands as a model of successful economic and political integration, promoting free trade and political cohesion among its members. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, fosters regional stability and economic growth in Southeast Asia. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, now succeeded by the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, highlights trilateral trade cooperation in North America. Additionally, the African Union, (O), aims to enhance economic development and integration across the African continent. These blocs exemplify how sovereign states can unite to amplify their global presence while addressing shared challenges collaboratively. The role of trade agreements. Bilateral versus multilateral agreements. Trade agreements act as pivotal instruments in shaping economic interactions between countries. Bilateral agreements involve two countries negotiating terms that benefit both parties, often focusing on eliminating tariffs and barriers. These agreements allow countries to tailor the terms according to their specific economic and political needs. The advantage lies in the ability to swiftly address issues and encourage mutual cooperation. However, they can sometimes create complexities when different agreements overlap. In contrast, multilateral agreements involve multiple countries and are often orchestrated by international organizations. These agreements aim to standardize rules across a broader global stage, promoting consistency in trade practices. The General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, GATT, which evolved into the World Trade Organization, WTO, represents an archetypal model of such agreements. While they offer uniform benefits and can potentially simplify global trade, reaching a consensus can be cumbersome due to the diversity of interests among participants. Economic impact of trade agreements. Trade agreements significantly influence national economies by enhancing market access and fostering competitive advantages. By reducing trade barriers, these agreements can lead to an increase in exports and imports, stimulating economic growth and creating jobs. They encourage foreign direct investment, FDI, by reducing uncertainties and providing more predictable trading environments. Consequently, countries can benefit from technology transfer, higher productivity, and development of industries. However, these benefits might not be evenly distributed within a country. Industries struggling to compete with international counterparts may face economic challenges. Furthermore, while consumers often benefit from lower prices and a wider selection of goods, these benefits can sometimes come at the expense of domestic producers. Political implications. The political landscape is markedly influenced by trade agreements, as they can shape diplomatic relations between countries. Through strategic alignment, countries might gain increased political influence or leverage over others. Trade agreements often dictate geopolitical alliances, as economic partnerships can foster political dependencies or shared interests. However, they also present challenges, such as national sovereignty concerns where global standards might conflict with domestic policies. Political opposition can arise when agreements are perceived to favor international over national interests. Overall, the political implications of trade agreements are profound, affecting both internal national governance and external diplomatic engagements. Major trade agreements: North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. The North American Free Trade Agreement, commonly known as NAFTA, established a trilateral trade bloc in North America. Implemented in 1994, it included the United States, Canada, and Mexico as signatories. NAFTA aimed to eliminate trade barriers, such as tariffs, among the three countries, promoting economic integration and enabling the free flow of goods and services. This agreement resulted in various economic impacts, including increased trade volumes, enhanced competitiveness, and the creation of a substantial number of jobs in member countries. Nonetheless, NAFTA also faced criticism for contributing to job losses and wage stagnation in some sectors, notably within the manufacturing industry. European Union, EU, Single Market. The European Union's single market represents one of the world's most advanced international trade agreements, facilitating the seamless movement of goods, services, capital, and people among member states. Initiated in 1993, the single market's integration eliminated many internal barriers, reinforcing economic cooperation across Europe. This monumental effort augmented economic growth, encouraged competition, and heightened consumer choices. Guided by common policies and regulations, the EU single market fosters a level playing field for businesses while promoting innovation. It has built an economic area strong in diversity and marked by deepening cooperation among members. Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, represents a comprehensive trade agreement initially comprising 12 Pacific Rim countries. Its primary objective was to establish broad trade rules and foster economic integration across diverse economies. Although the United States withdrew in 2017, the remaining countries formed the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP. The TPP aims to lower tariffs, protect intellectual property, and establish robust labor and environmental standards. It is viewed as a strategic endeavor to bolster trade among member nations and counterbalance the influence of major non-member economies such as China. African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA. The African Continental Free Trade Area, or AFCFTA, stands as a pivotal trade agreement within the African continent. Initiated in 2018, it aspires to establish a unified market and accelerate intra-African trade by reducing tariffs and other trade barriers. AFCFTA seeks to enhance economic integration, stimulate economic growth, and foster regional value chains. This ambitious agreement, covering over 50 African nations, has the potential to transform the continent's trade landscape by opening up new avenues for trade, investment, and sustainable development.